Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Madeenasiaa. So today I'm going to be doing a brow tutorial. My daughter actually inspired me to do this video. If you see makeup on my bathrobe, don't mind it. I was helping my daughter. But she actually inspired me to do this video because she is getting into makeup and she's having so much trouble with her eyebrows. And I can help her, but she also wants to learn on her own, and I want her to be able to have a video that she can come back to continuously if she needs help or some advice or something like that. So baby girl, this is for you. So the products that you will be needing are a brow pencil or brow pomade. For whoever else is watching this, I don't use brow pomade anymore, so I don't have it. She doesn't have it. She has pencils because that's what I bought her, and some concealer, a flat round brush, and a brush to blend out the concealer. We're going to start with brushing the brows up. The brows that you do have, I brush mine up. Brush them up, and these ones kind of up and over. After you brush your brows up, you're going to take your pencil and just start to outline your brows. This is where you can begin to do any brow shape that you want to. Once you know what kind of brows that you like, or if you already have a lot of brows, you already know the kind of brow shape that you're going for. But if you have minimal like me or my daughter, you're going to have to make up your own. We're just going to start with the bottom line first, and you would probably go just most people start at the corner of their eyebrows. I start here because that's where I could see my hair. Even though you guys can't see it, that's where I see my hair. So you're going to start at where you see your hair, or if you have no brows, wherever you want to start, but that's where I typically start. You're just going to outline the bottom of your brows and do small strokes. I don't do one continuous line because it's not going to be how I want it to be. And the small strokes, you can get it better. It's less error, should I say. Now, when it comes to the top of your brow, I personally always start here, like right before the arch of my brow. And that'll tell me how high I want my brow to be. And then I just bring that line down into a point. Now, it's not going to be perfect, especially if you're a beginner. It will not be perfect, so don't fret, don't stress. And then I'm going to bring this line forward just a few centimeters back, so where the corner of my eyebrow eye is, that's where I stop the top of the brow. And then I just fill it in. You can fill it in however you want to. You can use heavy pressure. I use small brow strokes because I like more of a natural brow. So I'm just going to fill this in. I leave about ½ an inch alone because these, as I'm filling from here down, I'm making the brush go backwards. I make it kind of curve like this. So that's what I'm doing. And then when it comes to the front of the brow, I do hair-like strokes going upwards. And then that's why I left that little, just that little tinge alone, because I'm gonna do my just like that. Then I'm gonna take my spoolie end of my pencil. I'm not gonna use a lot of pressure. Lightly brush it so the hairs can stand out more. The hairs that you do have can stand out. You just want to lighten that a little bit. Now I'm gonna do the other eyebrow. Now, your brows are not gonna look the same, ever. Never, ever identical. They will never, ever be identical, ever. This one is a little different from this one, but it's not too much to where anybody would be like, oh, your eyebrows are lopsided. Because for one, they are, but they aren't. But I'm also gonna clean them up to match them as best as I can. Now, when you're doing your brows, always make sure you stabilize your hand. Because if you don't, I mean, some people do it like this, and I can do it like that, but not everybody can. But it's also easier for me to stabilize my hand using my pinky and just going back and forth like this. We're going to start with the concealer. You can use any kind of concealer that you want. You can use any brush that you want, but the brush that's easier for me is a round flat brush. I've used the angled brushes, the flat top brushes. This is just what's easier for me. It gives me the best result, so that's what I use. I'm gonna take about 2 of these on the back of my hand. Just like that. Take my brush, coat both sides. And I'm not using a lot of concealer. I mean, it could be a lot. It's a lot to some people, but just do it like this. I take very little from this pile of concealer, and I'm spreading it out on my hand using a brush. This is the part that she's having the most trouble with. So once you have your arch in place where you know where you want it, you take it in the middle and you mark that spot. You know not to go past that line, because that's where you wanted your brows to be. Now, when it comes to the front of the brow, I don't suggest doing the downward motion. I can do it, but I only do it with a flat brush that has a flat top like this. Something like this. If you don't have something like that, I wouldn't suggest the stamping method and the stamp and pull method. I would suggest taking your brush, the flat side of your brush, which would be this part of your brush. Taking that and going like this and connecting that line. And then you just want to make it sharp because you already know where you have that line. Take your brush, close your eye. Now if you have a dip here, you can of course take the tip of your brush, stabilize your hand, just like that. So after you have that done, and you know exactly where your brow is going to be, you leave it there. You can shorten the brow if you want to, if it's too long for you, or you can leave it there. This is a perfect length for me. She also has an issue of the top. She will go in her brow hairs to clean up her brow and then bring the arch of her brow right here down. Once you clean this up, this should be the guide for this part. And what I mean is, if this is high, this will be high. If this is low, this part will be low. And we don't want this part to be low because that doesn't give you a lot of eyelid space. It takes away from your eye estate, and you want that there for your eyeshadows and stuff like that. Now the lines aren't perfect, and concealer will be your best friend when it comes to your brows. Even if your pencil work is not perfect, concealer will save it. So basically, you take the tip of that brush, whether it's a flat top brush, a round brush, or an angle brush, take that tip, small strokes. Then you drag it. You can drag it if you want to, just to make those lines meet. Like I said, it's my struggle brow. This is the one that always gives me problems. So I did get a little bit of concealer in there. So what I'm gonna do is take that brush. If your concealer gets on your pencil, just wipe it on the back of your hand like this, swirl it, and the concealer will come right off. And you do that until that line is back. Take that brush again. You can even go like this, hold your brush like this, instead of like this, hold it like this. Well, I'll hold it like this. One pinky under, 3 on top, my thumb like this, and I just drag it across. And that's how you get a brow. That's how you get the bottom cleaned up. Now, if you want them to be as close as possible, which everyone does, I don't do this anymore, but you can drag this out to a V, and you can drag this out to a V, and you can see whether it's on the same level or not. Mine is not. So I'm just going to straighten that line out to match this line and take it underneath the brow. I'm stabilizing my hand with my pinky and doing small strokes till it's even. That's the way to get them as close to looking like each other as possible. This one looks a little pointy, this one looks a little more rounded. So what you're going to do, instead of messing with this side, if you have that issue, you mess with this side. Just keep doing it till it gives the same illusion. Now for the top of the brow, you're going to start here, start in the middle, so they are on the same level. Even if they don't look anything alike, you want them to be on the same level. Start in the middle. Drag it, drag it, drag it, drag it, drag it up, drag it up. That's the front of your brow, baby. For the tail of the brow, you're gonna start here, bring it down. That's the tail of your brow, baby. There is some skin left where there is no concealer. None. No concealer whatsoever. What you're going to do is bring this concealer down to meet. Just like that. You're going to meet those concealers. Meet them. You're going to make them meet until you have the perfect arch for you. Whatever you like, however high you want it, that's your brow, baby. You can sharpen it more. Just like that. If you mess up your brow and you get concealer in your brow, up here and down here, always start with the top of your brow first. You bring that arch back into your brow, okay? Always bring it back into your brow, the top part, because the bottom part of your brow should always follow the top part. I didn't have to do that. I'm just making my arch higher so I can bring this up. Now I'm going to take more concealer and just conceal where I added the arch. And that's you putting your brow back together. Kind of fail a little bit because I didn't conceal that part. So if you want your brow to go higher, you just take some concealer, slowly lift it. You don't have to do the whole brow. See how I got a brow back and it's lifted. It gave me an eye lift. It gave me an instant eye lift. That gives me more space to put more eyeshadow, more space to put a crease on my eye if that's what I want it to do. Your brow hairs are there, whether you wax it, tweeze it, thread it. If it's growing back and you pulling the brush this way, that hair is gonna come this way. So that's why I hold my brush like this instead of like this. I hold my brush just like this, and I find a good point, meet these in the middle, and just bring it. And the brow hairs that's laying down, they aren't disturbed or anything like that. We're going to do the same thing we did for the right eye for the left eye. We're going to meet that for that arch. A point. Going to meet those two lines until there's no skin left. You did pretty good. She did pretty good. All I did was give her an instant brow lift, but besides that, I didn't touch any part of the brow. She has it. She can keep practicing.
Okay, and so I can go to the next eye.
You can go to the next eye. They look similar, but they're not the same. But they look similar. That is how you do your brows. Always, always make sure to blend out the edges of your concealer. You can use a fluffy brush, a flat brush, it doesn't matter. As long as you're blending out the edges of that concealer, because it will show underneath your foundation, and you don't want that. If you want to, you can even drag some of that concealer in the brow to soften it up a little bit. Some people do that. I don't conceal my brow. I don't do my brows before. I do my brows last. I always do my brows last. So I might start doing them again first, who knows. But some people drag just a tinge of that concealer using very, very light pressure to blend the to make the front of the brow lighter, so it's not harsh, so it doesn't look like somebody drew it on with Sharpie, or it looks like electrical tape, because I had that problem when I was learning. One of my biggest problems was the electrical tape look and the Sharpie look. I don't like that. I don't like it anymore. When I was doing my brows first, I did drag just a little bit of concealer into my brow. Then you take that around, blend it out, because if you don't, there will be a line of demarcation on your forehead, and you'll be able to see it underneath your foundation. And you, my friend, do not want that. This is the end of that. This is the end result of my brows. I sincerely hope that I was able to help somebody out. I hope I'm able to help my daughter out, and that she, you know, gets a down pat quick so she can step out. You know, shit, her mama is a big stepper, and she needs to be a big stepper. Period. Because when I step out, I step out. Any other time I look like this, but when I step, baby, I steps. Okay, period. Baby girl, I hope this helped you. I hope this helps anybody else out there who's having issues with their brows. Keep coming back to this video, because I give good tips. I ain't gonna lie. Other people, they just be doing their brows. I gave tips, baby. I gave tea. Period. I hope this helps anybody out, because I went through this. Your favorite makeup artist went through this. An aspiring makeup artist is going through this. The beginners, anybody who, even if you don't want to do other people's makeup and you just want to learn how to slay your own eyebrows, and you a beginner, never picked up a eyebrow brush in your life, you're gonna go through this. Period. It might not be as severe as others, but you're gonna go through it. Period. Nobody's brows are gonna come out perfect their first time, ever. I hope you guys liked the video. If you have any tips that you want to share for anybody else that's learning, leave them down below. Comment, subscribe to my channel if you're not. Share it with everybody else, like the video, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next video, guys. Bye.